panel messed the Nancy Guthrie investigation up on purpose. And the reason I say that, folks, please subscribe when you come in, like and share and all that stuff. All right? Culata, you're not familiar with the case. Boy, how could you not be? Hello, Stacy. Happy Tuesday to you. Uh, Nancy Guthrie is Savannah Guthrie's mother, 84 years old, who was kidnapped. All right. What was it, 6 months ago or something like that? And this investigation was fumbled all over the place like no investigation that I've ever seen or read about in my lifetime. And it was so bad, it's only my feelings, okay? And I'd like to know if you think the same thing. Did Sheriff Nano mess it up intentionally, on purpose? Huh? Who knows? Hello, my friend in Florida. Hello, everybody here today. You know, there's a lot more about Nancy Guthrie. The Bitcoins, that went to TMZ, and went to other TV stations. Right? It's just dumb. Dumb how this thing was handled by Sheriff Nanos. I just got to keep saying his name. I apologize. Okay. But, folks, I think the latest they heard was that she's buried with nature. So we've all been assuming that she's no longer alive. And it seems like whoever took her confirmed it. But they're not saying where they buried her. And folks, look, if they had time they could have taken her body all around the world by this time. So who knows where? All right. Uh, but I think she died not shortly, pretty shortly after they found her. And well, let me read. I did some research. The authorities leading the crusade to find Nancy Guthrie after her disappearance may have made a critical mistake in the early day of the investigation. Really? Yeah, they made big critical mistakes. They let other people on the site walk it over. They messed up anything, any evidence that they might have had. A first look at the case, and airmail zeroes in on a series of ransom demands made of the 84-year-old family, which includes daughter Savannah Guthrie, the co-host of Today on NBC. They had credible reason to believe the alleged kidnappers were legitimate. But those individuals also described Nancy as safe but scared before the February 5th deadline. After the deadline passed, they allegedly offered something in the way of an apology for her death, adding that her body could be delivered for the original $4 million in bitcoins that they were asking for. Oh, how nice they are, huh? Sources said the investigator began sifting the email messages from Nancy self-identified captors into three groups: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Good messages started coming in as early as February 2nd, the day after she was reported missing. February, March, April, May, June. It's 5 months, folks. All right. These people are the people. They identify certain things that only they would have known about. All right. The deadline to pay the $4 million sum was set for 5 p.m. local time on February 5th. Now, I'm not sure if this is the one that went to TMZ or not, okay, because they were sent it to TV stations there in Arizona. And then they said if it's not paid then, they're going to raise it to $6 million. Well, they didn't get the four and they didn't get the six. Okay. But I want you to listen to this here. A task force composed of local authority from the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI reportedly tried to employ a trick tactic nicknamed tickling the wire, which involves paying a small amount of the demanded sum to track where and how it moves. Folks, you and I are going to believe this, okay? They know they're dealing with very smart people who did this kidnapping. But they sent $152, 152 was sent to the designated Bitcoin wallet, according to the report. It remained there untouched, and then the bad email began. Well, they're asking for $4 million, and Pima County and the FBI sent $152. Do you think for one moment that these guys don't know it was a trick? 100, you're not going to get out of bed. Jacob, no, I'm not a Jew. I'm 100% Italian, Jacob. So why are you asking if I'm a Jew? And besides, what does my nationality have to do with anything about this subject? Okay, Jacob, let me ask you that. All right? All right? Folks, I apologize for this guy. Okay? Mandy couldn't make it here today. If she was here, he'd be out right now. Okay? But unfortunately, Mandy has some appointments. She had to take her children to different places. Okay? And I'll block him next time I see him there, Beer Lighter. Thank you. Mm. Steve asked me who I think I had a good life. Yeah, I do. All right? JIMC, who are you? Thank you for calling me handsome. Jenny, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. All right. Was my life worth it? It's the only life that I had, the only life that I will have. So, yes, okay. I'm fortunate and blessed to be able to be here, okay, and try to give you folks some of my wisdom of my 81 years on this planet. And I had a lot of good, bad, and ugly in my life. And I took responsibility for everything that I done, folks. So I want you to know that. Thank you, Steve. All right, Stacy. All right. So, folks, $152. What kind? Who's in charge over here? $152. None of you are going to get out of bed for $152. You all would know that that was a trap. Folks, can you hit that like button? All right, if you like what I'm saying, because I'm not staying here long today. A message arrived in one day past it's February 6th, first deadline. Never determined. The search for Nancy's whereabouts is days away from entering its fifth month. Savannah continues to ask the public for help locating her missing mother, while an imposter who sent fraudulent ransom demands has been arrested. So there were some fraudulent people trying to take advantage to try to get money from this. You know, what's wrong with people? Seriously. You know, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department are asking anyone with tips to contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. The Bureau has set a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to Nancy's recovery or the arrest of anyone involved in her disappearance. So, if any of you know it, there's $50,000 that they put up. All right. Oh, their tactic didn't work of that stupid $152. All right. And you know, folks, TMZ could have put money up for the reward and try to trick these people in, like they would have been the ones to pay it. I don't know why they didn't attempt to do something like that. That sure would have helped their reputation out a lot. Okay, what do you think about that? Stacy, happy Christmas in July. Folks, you know, the last few days there's been something wrong with YouTube that I can't explain. All right, I want to know, are you folks getting the notification? Nobody seems to be getting notifications, not only from mine, but I hear other content creators complaining of the same thing. And then I know that I have several hundred people who view my show, and then at the end of the show, they say 14. And it's been 14 on every show for the last few days. So, but then it eventually goes up to what the numbers are. But so there's something going on, huh? As you know, TMZ would have been accused of a public stunt. No, they could have been doing something for the public. Okay, look at it the other way. Okay, I mean, come on. The feds put up $152. Okay, maybe 100,000 might have moved these people to try to take the money. Something enticing. But these guys know that once they take that money, that the feds could find the information of where they were. All right. Kate, I'm not going to answer that. All right. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Put her on timeout. 5 minutes. All right. Hey, see, I'm able to do some things, folks. Okay. I'm no technology whiz, believe me. I told you all that a million times. Okay, let's go now and talk about Donald Trump for a moment here, because you all love talking about him. He's in Pennsylvania. All of a sudden now he's touting an economic message. Okay, that the economy's going to get good. All right, folks, come on. Are we stupid? We're not stupid. We know he's only doing this because of the midterms. And I guarantee the only reason he got and did the deal that he did with this ceasefire is because he's losing by almost 70% of the people disapprove. Almost 70% of our nation disapprove of us doing a war for Israel. All right? Thank you, Stacy. Hello, Sheridan. How you doing? Thank you for coming today, my friend. All right? Yeah, folks, we're getting the best TV shows, and it's repetitive all the time with all the lies that we keep getting. Oh, my God. Is cable network just getting worse? They get so much criticism, and they only get worse. They don't try to improve and make it better. All right? You know, if I'm doing bad on something, I want to try to make it better. And I'm sure you folks are the same way. But these people with billions and billions of dollars, they just want you to keep believing the shit that they say. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't know about you. Hey, folks, can you keep hitting that like button? I hate asking you. Okay, and in fact, I'm going to stop asking because it don't make a difference. The likes, the view, the clicks, and all this bullshit. Okay, it don't help me making any money over here. All right, and TikTok. Have you been on TikTok? TikTok's become total garbage since it's been taken over by the United States companies. All right, total garbage on there, and people like that. Folks, I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to dance. I'm not going to disguise my voice. You get what you get with me. You get the real thing. Okay? I don't hold back. And I tell you the truth. I tell you my feelings. I tell you my thinkings. My God. Okay? And you know, they say subscribe, subscribe. Do subscribers help? I made more money when I had only 5,000 people. And I should have tried staying there. Okay. Huh. Oh, Cooper. Cuddle Frizzle. You're right. If we weren't allies, we're allies, but they're not our allies. They act like they are, but they're not. All right. We keep giving them money. They got better education. They got better retirements. They got better medical care. Why? Because we're giving them all the money. But we don't have those things here in the United States. And then they are taking that money and they got these different funds like APAC and several others, which are not registered, and they're buying our congressmen and senators. They own they own our government with our money. And then we give them money so we could build their military aircraft. And they got to do it with our contractors. So we give the money, and then that money comes back to the contractors, and everybody's taking their piece off off the top over there. In the meantime, who keeps getting screwed? You. at me. All right. I'm sure we got a lot of people here on Social Security. Now, a lot of people are reporting on YouTube, but I can't find nothing about it, that Social Security recipients are going to get $2,000. Folks, I don't see it anywhere. Where do these creators get this information from? Because I can't find it. All right. So if any of you could find it, please send it to me. All right. I could use 2 grand. Sure, you could too. A lot of people are fleeing America. Cut off, cut off Israel. Is that what that is? What happened? Crunchy asked me, what information do I need? I need the information if they seriously are going to give $2,000 to Social Security recipients. Because other people, they're getting a lot of views on it. All right. Thank you, Stacy. I don't feel 81. I don't feel it. But I appreciate that, Stacy. You know I do. All right. Hey, I watched a podcast today. All right. And the host was smoking. Is that approved on YouTube? I don't think so. Huh? You you do something fun today. No, Stacy, I didn't do anything fun today. I took my walk, walked over to Beverly Drive, I got a pastrami bagel. It was really good. Okay, I know you don't eat something that much, but I ate half of it anyway. I could only eat half, and I'll save the other half. Uh, and I don't eat a lot. I just eat to stay alive. It's funny. Everybody wants to talk about the restaurant they went to. I do the same thing too once in a while. Okay, but look at when I was younger, all my meetings, everything I did took place in restaurants. So I've been in so many restaurants that it's no big deal to me. Okay, Dave, you are awesome. You are cheap. You got to come to Los Angeles. I got to meet you someday. So that's, folks, that's the latest that I got on Nancy Guthrie. Nothing more. Okay, other people still trying to talk about Diddy. There's not much happening with Diddy except for these civil lawsuits. Okay, and I don't see any indictments coming down anyplace else on Diddy. And I'm going to do a little more research. As you know, with a Jonathan Hayes, the sheriff's department investigated it and they turned it over to the district attorney here in Los Angeles. And it's been a few weeks and they haven't decided yet whether to indict or not. So if they haven't decided by now, my take is they're not going to. Just like I said from the beginning. Okay? I don't think that they would. It would be a very big case, and they know Diddy's got the money for the legal power that he would need to fight the case. In state cases, all right, as opposed to federal cases, you have a very good chance of beating a state case. Where federal, you got a maybe a 10% chance of winning. It's like reverse in state. You know why the people keep wanting to talk about Michael Franchise? None of you know him. I know him personally. You keep wanting to bring it up like he's your best friend. Go ask him for some money. Go ask him for some money. Okay, AI? OG bullshit. Thank you, idiots. You known him for 40 years? I known him for 70 years. Okay? All right, folks. I don't want to get upset over here. Okay? People don't know somebody, but they claim they know them because they watch them on YouTube. Okay? Everybody have a great day. I love you. Take care.